You're watching Ladies in the Locker Room. We'll be right back. What's going on, everybody? It's your girl, it's Hattie, and you're watching Ladies in the Locker Room. Well, we are live, and if you send me a message over on the message board, I can always check it and give you a shout out. Let me know that you can hear me, and let me know that everything is all good. So hopefully you can hear me. Generally, that's not a problem. So we want to make sure. Well, we're going to get started with first of all, it is March Madness. We talked about that. And not just the basketball March Madness. It's March Madness to me because there's just so much going on across the board. Now, tell me, whose brackets got jacked up in the very first round? I've been hearing everybody talk about their brackets and this and that, and then I'm finding out that a 16 seed be the number one seed, and that jacked up a lot of people's brackets. And then they were talking about how much money people could win off of March Madness, gambling on basketball. Now, there's a lot of basketball played during March Madness, so you really have to pay attention and keep up. So I got to give my friend Tony, well, really my son's friend Tony, who I did try to get on the show. I wanted Tony to come on the show because Tony is a former college basketball coach, and he follows March Madness to the T. I mean, he watches almost every game, and I want him to come on, and I'm still calling for you to come on, Tony. It's not too late. I want him to come on and tell us a lot more about these brackets and this seed and that seed and who he thinks is going to win and who he thinks is going to lose and who's going to come out at the end. I just wonder. So, Tony, I'm calling you out. I need you on the show. I need somebody who knows a lot about this to come on and tell the rest of us a lot about this. And, and we'll keep watching. I watched a few games, and I want to say that the women's basketball is looking really, really good. When I tell you, for those of you who don't pay attention to the WNBA and girls college basketball, of course, I played basketball as a teen. Not college. I didn't play collegiate basketball. I played high school, and I played middle school, actually, more than anything. But when I tell you, if you haven't been to a WNBA game, you need to go. These girls are really balling, and it's a lot of fun to watch. And I know the popularity for the men is pretty big, but I'm telling you, you're missing out if you don't go see the WNBA play. These girls are balling, they are dunking, they're doing everything like the guys do. Some a little bit more feminine, and some not. Some of them are just rough and tough. So I really think if you haven't been to see any WNBA games, you need to go. And also, while you're doing your brackets and you're figuring everything out, don't leave out the women. Don't leave out the pros that are coming up out of college this year. Let me see. Also, I wanted to mention this is March is Women's History Month. And there's a documentary coming out called The Queen of Basketball. And it talks about one of the first women who was recognized for professional basketball. And you got to go check it out. The Queen of Basketball. And I believe Shaq may have been the producer. I'm not positive, or he's involved in some way. But we know Shaq is involved in a lot of things. And Shaq, I'm calling you out too. I need to go for a ride on the yacht. I'm tired of looking at pictures. I need to go cruising on the yacht. And yes, I said cruising on the yacht. So if you know Shaq, you tell him I said so. I need to go cruising on the yacht. It looks fabulous. But check out the documentary, The Queen of Basketball. And I just heard about it, so I don't have a lot of information to share. So let's Google it. Let's find out, and let's support for, like I said, this is National Women's History Month. And if you're a sports fan, especially a woman who plays basketball, you might want to find out about this lady who was noted as one of the first professional women basketball players. So we want to really, really check her out. We're going to go to our first commercial, and then we will be right back.
Hello guys, my name is Gloria. I am an instructor at LA Fitness Atlantic Station. I teach Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and on Saturdays we hike. We go to a different location. Our classes are 5:45 at Atlantic Station. There's kickboxing, there's body work, there's power circuit, everything you can imagine. And then we hike. We hike Kennesaw, Stone Mountain, the Palisades. We go everywhere. Come out and join us. Find out what your mission is and have fun while you do it. You can find me on Facebook, Gloria Jackson, and I want you to have fun while you get fit. Come join me.
All right, and we're back. So, speaking still of basketball, I want to fast forward to the NBA. So, as you know, the NBA just celebrated, their, I want to say it's the Super Bowl of the NBA All Star Weekend. So, NBA All Star Weekend didn't disappoint as always. A lot of people say they don't like to see the game because they're horsing around and they're not really serious. I don't know. That's not really true. They're playing for bragging rights. They're playing for other teams who may be looking to see what kind of players they are. I think that they're playing some serious basketball. So when I got a chance to watch the games, and the slam dunk contest is always a big, big deal. And, they're getting more creative with their different dunks, jumping over people's heads. And we've seen all kind of things of the players jumping over their dad's head, who's a former NBA player, and jumping over their homeboys' heads, or just different things, and all kind of dunks. So the slam dunk contest is always a really, really, really awesome part of that weekend, and it's fun to watch. And then the celebrity basketball games, you get to see some of these celebrities who really kind of got a little game going on. They can ball. I remember watching Chris Brown a couple years ago ball out, and years ago Brian McKnight, and a couple people who play basketball for fun but can really play. So that's an opportunity for them to come out and kind of ball out and have a good time. All-Star Weekend is always a phenomenal, phenomenal time. Now, since All-Star Weekend, the NBA has started right back up. There's been a lot of trades. First and foremost, the main one I got to talk about is the Brooklyn Nets trading the Beard away. This is why I don't have a team anymore. I support players, and the next thing you know, they're playing somewhere else. So, which is what happened to me with the New York Giants. I'm a long time New York Giants fan, but I love Odell Beckham. So when Odell Beckham left, I started watching more of Cleveland. And then when he ended up in LA, then I started watching more of LA because I am an Odell fan. And I like to say congrats on the new baby, and congrats also on winning your Super Bowl. You earned it. You deserve it. I said, anytime anybody presents an highlight film like you did, you deserve it. And I'm glad you won. So back to basketball. Now, James Harden is now playing in Philadelphia, and he hasn't missed a beat. Just hasn't missed a beat. And I want to say, when you can ball, you can just ball. After All-Star Weekend, all the teams went right back to work, right back trying to beat each other and knock each other out of going to the finals. And it's getting real tight. Some teams just didn't come around this year, and I'm not going to mention those names. But I am going to say big ups to my Atlanta Hawks. And Trae Young and the guys, they have, really, really continued to progress. And I think that's an awesome thing. And as you know, they have Dominique Wilkins in the front office helping those guys out, and a lot of other people helping those guys out. And I just see progress, and I like to continue to see more progress from the Atlanta Hawks and Trae Young and the rest of those guys. They're looking really, really good. And then, of course, like I said, James Harden, who is now with Philadelphia. So now I'm watching a little bit more Philadelphia, because I like to watch James, Fear the Beard. And I also like to say that James Harden is the person that made beards popular. I don't care what anybody says. People had beards before James Harden, but it wasn't until that beard and we started fearing the beard that the beards really became popular. And I love it. I have to say, I love the beards. I don't have any problems with them at all. But I like to say James Harden is who made that happen for everybody. He's looking real good in Philly. Now let me move to LA with LeBron. As you know, LeBron is third now at all-time high scorer, and he's looking now to he passed Michael Jordan. He's looking to he passed Michael Jordan. He's looking to pass Kobe with 60 points. He hasn't passed Kobe yet, but that's next on his list of things to do, and that's what he's working on is passing Kobe. But he's playing. Now, you hear a lot of talk back and forth about LeBron, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. I have one more thing to talk about for All-Star Weekend. You guys cut it out. Stop it. Cut it out. Everyone was saying that Michael Jordan was trying to tap Mary J's behind. No, he was not. He's a very tall person with a very long reach, and he did, and even with that, he was able to hug her respectfully. So cut it out, guys. We love Mary, and we also love Michael, and that's not what happened. Some people just like to make some news out of something, but that's not always the case. He did not. Stop it. Now I want to move on to LA with LeBron. LeBron has proven time and time again that LeBron is his own brand. LeBron plays his own brand of basketball. LeBron helps to develop any team he goes to, and that's what he's done. And that's the kind of player that he is. Now they're saying that Russell Westbrook is struggling a little bit. Well, we're seeing it. I don't know why Russell is struggling or why he hasn't really been the Russell Westbrook that we thought he would be when he got to LA. We thought he would be more help than he has been, and that just hasn't happened. Maybe he's not happy there. What a lot of fans don't understand is these guys, they play ball, and when you get traded from one team to another, sometimes it ain't the best move. Cam Newton went back to Carolina. Sometimes the franchise that you're with, the style of operations that they do is more of what they like to, is a more a part of what people would like to be. So it doesn't appear, maybe I'm wrong. I mean, you tell me. I'm looking for some more fans. And Russell, you tell me if you want to. What's the matter? Something's not right. Something ain't all cylinders are not clicking, and it's just not happening. And then maybe he's just gonna save it till the end and then turn on the heat, and like he does sometimes, and we like to see that. LeBron, like I said, LeBron still hasn't missed a step. He still goes out there every night. He wants to play in the NBA long enough to play with his son Bronny. Now that would be phenomenal. It hasn't been done yet in the league, but a lot of things that LeBron does hasn't been done yet. So this will just be another one of those things. I'm one of those people. I enjoy watching LeBron go to his son's games and root him on. He is there, he's cheering him on, he's having a good time, and I love that. A lot of people's like, oh, he needs to sit down, he's stealing the limelight. No, when I watch LeBron watch his son, he is enjoying watching what his son can do. And out of all the players in the NBA, Steph Curry, of course, his dad played in the NBA, but Steph Curry, I think, has passed more accolades than his dad did. So can you imagine what Bronny could do if he passed more accolades than his dad? LeBron has made such strides in the NBA. I think he would definitely be a tough act to follow. But we'll have to find out. We'll just have to see what's going to happen. But that's what LeBron is saying now. He'd like to stay in the league long enough to play with his son, and it looks like he's on his way. Now, of course, he's been getting more hurt than he ever has been. Because he's getting older, and that body can only take so much banging. And Lord have mercy, that body. Yes, LeBron. LeBron got the body of life. I don't care what anybody says. For a basketball player, we're used to them kind of being tall and lanky, and if they're a little bit thicker, they'll call them big, like they did Charles Barkley when he first came. The round mound, the rebound, And of course, Shaq was just ginormous of a person, but LeBron just has the body of life. I mean, fellas, I hate to tell you, we ladies, we watch the game, but we also watch the bodies. And some of y'all be watching the bodies too, and some of y'all cannot. Hey, my friend Oscar Jones just signed in. We playing in the league with your son. I think only Ken Griffey did that in baseball. Ken Griffey Sr. and Ken Griffey Jr. That was baseball, and yes. So now we're gonna see if LeBron can hang around long enough to play with his son. In basketball, that would be awesome. And Bronny's he's really, his game is getting better and better each time I've had an opportunity to kind of see what they're saying about him. But we'll find out. You're right, Oscar. It was in baseball, but we'll see if LeBron James is able to make it happen in basketball like they did in baseball. But that would be awesome. The other thing in basketball, as I said, is winding down now. We're getting close to playoff time. There's only a few games left. We're going to see who's going to make it to the playoffs. And it seems like some teams that we didn't think would be struggling, like LA is struggling to make it. Brooklyn Nets, a little struggle there. Philly struggle. I mean, everybody's having their own struggles. So we're going to see what's going to happen with those games. We're going to take a commercial break and we'll be right back. All right. So moving on from the NBA to the NFL. And I don't want to miss out on the WNBA, which this season is getting started. Don't forget about the WNBA. But we're going to move on to the NFL. The NFL, again, same thing. A lot of trades and moving around. I know we've all been waiting to see what was going to happen with Deshaun Watson, which he had the Atlanta Falcons and the Atlanta fans sitting on pins and needles, hoping that he would come here, and that would have been fun. It would have been fun, but it just didn't happen. He decided to go with Cleveland. We were watching for you, Deshaun. We definitely were watching for you and hoping. I'm glad that his case is over with, or he's able to get back to playing football. I'm sorry for the women. I'm sorry for Deshaun. I'm sorry for the whole situation. It's just awful. I guess sometimes the things that people get caught up into and they have to deal with. But I'm glad he's going to go back to playing football, and he will be with the Cleveland Browns. And he went with a big trade with a couple of first round draft picks and everything else. Uh-oh. Well, Oscar, I'm not sure what you're saying. We might have missed something there. I'm getting some messages. I'm trying to get everything together here. Yes, I have been watching the bodies. I always watch the bodies. Sorry, Oscar. I've always said I'm like Diana Ross, the song she wrote. I love muscles. Yep, sure do. I watch the bodies. Sorry, Oscar. I do. Anyway, back to the NFL. The NFL and the NFL trades, and of course, like I said, Deshaun Watson. Deshaun, you had Atlanta hoping something was going to happen, but he decided to go to Cleveland. So now we're still wondering what's going to happen with Atlanta and how they're going to be able to improve. Now, if you saw the combine and saw some of those Georgia players, I mean, UGA really stepped up this year. They've got some players coming out this year in the draft. I think after the combine, a lot of those guys' draft stock went up a lot. And hopefully we'll get some of those UGA guys, because I'm pretty sure some of them would love to stay in the area. And then we had a lot of players who are from the area at the combine this year. Georgia has really, what Kirby's been doing for that franchise has really been good. Every year they seem to get better and better. Last year, of course, they won. Yay, Georgia. Every year Georgia's been saying to Alabama, this is going to be our year. This is going to be our year. Well, last year was Georgia's year, and they finally beat. Now, let me tell you something. I love Coach Saban. I had the opportunity to meet him once, and he was a really nice gentleman, and he spoke nice and mild-mannered. And I met him one year when they were here at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium for the kickoff for the game, for the SEC game, and I had a chance to meet him and speak with him, and he was very nice. So I'm always a Coach Saban fan. Georgia, I'm a fan of the game. I tell people this all the time. I'm a fan of the game. Last year I did a lot of rooting for Georgia and a lot of rooting for Alabama and a lot of rooting for not just those two guys, Georgia State University here in Atlanta. Georgia State is coming up. They're doing some great things. Also, rooting for over there Georgia Tech. So, those are the teams here in the South that I watch and I keep an eye on and I root for. And I'm hoping for some good things to come up out of Georgia this year. And a lot of those high the high five guys, there were quite a few of them that made it to the combine. So that was a good thing. So in the NFL, again, we've had trades and also I know you know by now. Yep, he's coming back. The GOAT is coming back for another year. Yeah. Roll Tide, Oscar. Roll Tide. I got you. And also you too, Thomas, my son. Roll Tide. Yes, I know. Roll Tide. Um, good stuff. Hey, Sean. Sean is back on watching us. Hey, Sean. Sean, thanks for watching. What you say? Let me see. Good stuff. You share. Hope to see you again. Coach Buck's golf tournament is coming up. Yes, that's where I met Sean last year. So yeah, I'll be back this year. And yes, we're gonna have a good time. We went to Tennessee and we watched Coach Buckingham, who has a golf tournament every year to raise money for the kids in the inner city kids in that area, and it was really nice. And I met some great people like Sean. So we will definitely be headed back there this year to watch. But we're talking about the NFL, and again, the GOAT is coming back. Yeah, you guys. I thought he had had enough. I did. I did. I thought he'd had enough, but nope, he's coming back. Yeah, you Tampa Bay guys, get ready. Your guy's coming back again. I don't even want to say his name because we say it so much. You know who I'm talking about. The GOAT of football is coming back. He decided to return for another season. I don't know if Giselle is happy about that. Maybe she is, but I know his fans are, and he did when he wanted. He wants to get another ring, I guess. So we'll see what happens. So let me see other news in the NFL. Of course, we know Calvin Ridley is suspended for gambling, and I'm not sure what he gambled and how he gambled. And I guess when you play in the professional sports, you can't gamble on professional sports. I get it. Anyway, he was caught gambling, and so now he's suspended for all of the 2022 season. Now he was out all of last season anyway, for what was noted as a mental illness issue, I think it was. So he didn't play much of last year with the Falcons anyway, but now he's going to be out for the season as he's been penalized. No way he comes back without his wife's support. All right, Sean. Yeah, pretty much. And she's very supportive. Yeah. Giselle's right there supporting her man. So yeah. And it was his decision and he decided to come back. So yeah, he will be back with the team again, back in Tampa Bay. Now, is he still in David's house? Did he get his own house yet? I don't know. But they seem to enjoy being in Florida. I love Florida too. And we'll see what happens. So Calvin really suspended for all of the 2022 season. Deshaun Watson is coming back. Now, I also heard there was a possibility that some other players who had been out for a while may be coming back. And the Falcons did resign their running back. He had a great season last year for them. I'm pretty sure they would. Yes, I know Sean Brady. I know. I just didn't want to say it. Tom Brady. I know. Tom Brady, the GOAT, is returning. And yes, he probably does have his wife's support. So we're looking to see some other players. I want to see what's going to happen with Cam Newton in Carolina. I know they brought him back last year. I don't know if he's going to stay there. Haven't heard anything yet. I don't know. I hope so. I think he'd like to finish his career there. We'd like to find out. Now, there's some teams like the Falcons. Now, I know that they're saying this may be Matt Ryan's last year. So I think that's another reason why they did not get Deshaun Watson. I think they want to bring in a player that they can groom to kind of back up the quarterback here and Matt Ryan and let him play out his last year and let him enjoy his retiring season. So I think that that's another reason why Deshaun did not come to Atlanta. I don't think he wants to go to a team where he's going to be the backup. I think he wants to come out and he wants to play. He sat out a whole season already last year, dealing with these sex crimes. Yes, I said sex crimes on Ladies in the Locker Room, but I really feel like he, he sat out and they dropped all the charges, and hopefully he's moved on. And I hope, like I said, I wish nothing but positivity. I wish well to the ladies involved, and I definitely wish well to Deshaun. But we'll see what happens. Now here again, the Atlanta Falcons are, they're saying that maybe Matt Ryan will retire. So I believe if they pick up a quarterback, it'll be someone that can help him, but still allow him to play out this last season, but not anybody that's just going to come right in and eliminate Matt. Matt's been the man. Matt is the man. And I know Arthur Blank's in that franchise, and they're going to let him leave gracefully and on his own terms. So I think that's how that'll work out. But we'll have to see what happens. And in other football news, around the league, there's been, players are popping around. Sometimes I was like, wow, they just pop around. And the draft is coming up, and that's another thing. The deadline for the draft is happening, and a lot of these guys are just, they're making these trades because they want to draft up. They want to draft up, so they're making these trades right now to get a better draft position if possible. We'll see what happens. Let's see. Let's see what happens. All right, we're going to go to our next commercial, and we'll be right back. That's my guy Rodney Harrell from Rod Star. Rod Star got a 5K run coming up. Rodney, you got to let me know about your 5K run. And Rod Star Entertainment does a lot of good things around the Atlanta area. And he also works with a lot of the veterans out of the league. Now, there was also one more story out of the NFL. I heard rumors that Colin Kaepernick was getting a look from a couple of teams who were in the shopping around for quarterbacks. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but we shall see. I mean, he's been out of the league now 4 years, something like that. But I heard rumors that some people were looking at Colin Kaepernick. So we'll have to see what happens and if they're going to make that happen, which I don't think so, but I'm not positive. If you guys have heard anything, let me know. Of course, we would love to see Colin come back. Yes, I did say sex crimes. Oscar. We're talking about Colin Kaepernick right now, Oscar Jones, one of my friends and fans. We'd like to see Colin Kaepernick come back and get an opportunity to, I guess, redeem himself as a football player. He stood up for social justice, and he was crucified for it. He lost his job. He lost money. They have since given him his money or given him money back, but he hasn't gotten his job back. So we'd like to see if Colin gets an opportunity to come back and play football in the NFL again. We don't know if he's physically capable, at least if he gets an offer and an opportunity to come and try out for a team and get into mini training camp and then summer camp, and who knows? There are plenty of teams who need quarterbacks. We'll be watching. And I have one more thing to talk about before I leave. Spring football is coming back, you guys. Can you believe that? The USFL. Now, if you were as mature as I am, you remember the USFL back in the day. And I love spring football. It's because, I'm one of those people that I start having problems when the NFL is over. It's like, it's over. It's and now the USFL is back. Plus, there's so many players coming out of college and don't make it to the NFL. This gives them an opportunity to continue to develop and get ready for another season of the NFL. So yes, spring football is coming back. The USFL is coming back. So we'll be watching for the spring football. I think that's going to be very, very, very cool. And other than that, spring football coming back. Colin Kaepernick may be coming back. One last thing. Let's talk about those Atlanta Braves. Say it, Angels. So, Joe, the Atlanta Braves lost one of their number one players. Yes, they did. But they gained a lot more. Freddie Freeman was ready to go, I'm told, and he got a great contract from the Dodgers. Freddie Freeman is gone to the Dodgers. And yes, USFL, very cool. Freddie Freeman is gone, but we've got some high five guys coming up from some of the colleges around town that'll be playing, and some of the guys right here from the Georgia area will be playing with the Braves this year, and we'll talk about that soon. We're getting ready for spring training. It's time for spring training. We'll see what happens. We've got NASCAR going on today. We're going to talk about how Bubba Watson does next week when we come back on. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for Ladies in the Locker Room today. Continue to watch, share with your friends. If you got a story you'd like to share with us, something I need to be talking about, tell me about it and we'll talk about it. Until then, we will see you guys next week. Again, it's your girl, it's Hattie, and you're watching Ladies in the Locker Room. And good night, I think. Yeah. There was one more story I wanted to talk about, but I'll save it for next week. See you guys next Sunday night at 9. Good night. Good night. Thank you.